Thank you very much for the introduction. You might have heard, my name is Marc. I'm a technical account manager. What that actually means is I'm part of I call them the 3 enterprise pillars. So that basically means if you are a large enterprise and you want support, you want high availability, you really have Atlassian as some very important strategic tools in your organization, you want to make sure that are really running smooth for your customers internally and externally. So this is where these 3 pillars come in place: the premium support, the solution partners, and the technical account management team. It's an additional service where I actually meet large enterprise customers and provide them guidance, how they want to scale, how they want to run out or roll out data center, how they want to consolidate maybe multiple instances into one, and also strategic guidance when they're on a digital transformation journey or if they run into agile at scale. Or of course, DevOps, one of my passions, but I come to that a little bit. So that's just about me, what I'm actually doing at Atlassian. Today, as already mentioned, we want to bring the summit to you. So I'm just curious right now, how many in the audience, by the sign of hands, has been to the summit, the last summit in Barcelona? Okay, expected, no worries. Different question. Again, raise your hands. Who has ever been to an Atlassian summit? Here we go, fantastic. Welcome back. That's great. So what I want to do is I brought basically a little glimpse, literally, from the summit to South Africa. So I'm going to have a couple of updates for you about Atlassian, about our server products, and I know those are heavily used here in the audience. I'm also going to give you a little bit updates about the cloud, because the cloud is coming. And we are aware of the cloud, and you want to know how to get there, maybe. It's still a bit cloudy, that topic, I know. No pun intended. And a couple of other things I'm going to tell you as well. But let's start with the server update. So first up, server. On server, we are prioritizing 2 areas. This is customer success and customer scale. Because you want to grow, we want you to grow. So over the last couple of years, we've delivered some of the most highly voted features. And we didn't just do the small things. We also been going after the big stuff. So we launched features like delegated administration and priorities per project in Jira. We also launched collaborative editing and mobile apps in Confluence. But that's stuff which is already out there. You're here to see the new stuff, right? You want to see what's coming up. I knew it. Yeah, so let's start with Jira. So what's the next major Jira release? Yes, Jira 8. Jira 8 is going to lay the foundation for customers who plan to manage Jira in their own data center or in a private cloud, maybe Azure, AWS. It's going to lay the foundation. The Jira 8 release focuses on platform improvements to make Jira faster and more stable, along with productivity updates, and help end users and administrators. In 8, we are going to deliver 2 of the most highly voted features from the whole community. Some of you might be familiar with this situation. If your team is using boards in Jira with thousands of issues, it can take a while to load. I want to point out one thing here. Yes, this board has 124,000 issues. Of course, that's a little bit of an extreme, But that is actually a customer example. And this specific case, actually, they timed their coffee break by their loading time of their boards. That would be fantastic if Atlassian would be in the coffee business. We would make a lot of money here, but we're not. Our business is to get your work done. So, of course, we tackled that. We wanted to fix that. So to address this problem, we made improvements to the entire Jira stack. And the results speak for themselves. Have a look. Here you see the same dashboard loading before and after these improvements. So I hope you're looking forward to these loading times. We know your email inbox is already out of control. And have you ever missed an important notification from Jira because of email overload? Oh yeah, I see heads nodding. Yeah, so to address this challenge, we are going to improve email notifications, allowing you to get batch notifications from Jira based on your personal preferences. So now instead of getting 20 different updates from Jira, you're going to get one with all the information you need. Historically, filters and dashboards in Jira have individual owners. Oh dear. But what happens if your team rely on this one single dashboard? And for God's sake, what happens if this one single owner leaves the company? And of course, you only find out that he was the owner of the filters and the dashboard when he's gone. And the next morning, the team wants to reload the dashboard, wants to make changes, and they have no access. Yes, I've been there. So relying on a single member of the team to maintain everything can be frustrating for the rest of the team. Changing something that that person is actually on holiday. So we tackle that as well. Just a second, here comes up some messages. So what we're going to do is, in Jira 8, we are releasing shared filters and dashboards, allowing for multiple editors to update and manage those. With shared filters and dashboards, we eliminate the reliance on individuals and give more power to your team. While we hope you really enjoy the next release of Jira, we had one long-time request from all server customers ever since we released this similar feature to our cloud customers. What's that? Yes, that's right. The launch of Jira 8. So we will be releasing a native mobile apps for Jira Software Server. So with the mobile apps for Jira, your users can stay connected with their work, get updates on important tickets, and of course, search for important information. So maybe take a photo actually on the URL so you can actually already check it out earlier than others. All right, let's move on. I know many of you, of course, use Confluence. And if you're anything like me, you're searching in Confluence on a daily basis. That's actually the first thing you go do in Confluence, otherwise, or maybe you have loads of bookmarks. Because search is usually the first thing we do in Confluence, we want to make sure that every search gets the user the content as quickly as possible. And this is why we built a fundamentally new search available later this year. So the new search has two main benefits. It's faster, and the results are more relevant. The new search quickly connects users with the content they are looking for by eliminating the need to take users to a separate search results page. And while we're doing this, on top of getting users the information they need. Let's have a look at Bitbucket. Maintaining and shipping quality code requires a huge amount of inputs from continuous integration system, code coverage, security scanning tools, and so on and so on. So today, that information is usually buried in all these different tools, and the developer needs to go into all those tools, need to find the right appropriate information to get other people's information. So how about we put it actually under the fingertips of the developers? Bitbucket server is going to have a new code insights integration that puts critical information about test builds, security scans, and more at developers' fingertips within pull requests. With highly visible results from other systems, your teams will ship better quality code in a fraction of the time. This is also now available as part of the early access program, so you can already actually, after this day, go home and play around with that. Maybe not in your free time, but in the office there. While shipping new features, it is a constant focus of ours. I have to admit, we had it much more difficult actually to launch constantly new features. Yeah, in the last couple of years. And when I say we, I actually mean Atlassian, our partners, and also you as a customer. Because that challenge we have with new features and new functionalities is that many of you are successful with your products. You're using it a lot, and you're actually pushing our products to new levels of scale that challenges the fundamental architecture and performance of our products. So, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Atlassian's 100 largest server and data center customers collectively manage over 90 million Jira issues. And additionally, so just about 90 million new issues across 100 customers. However, one of the largest deployments of Confluence, a single deployment, has over 10 million pages. Yep. And one of the largest Bitbucket data center customer hosts over 57,000 repositories. That's something we find out when we talk to you. So how are we handling this at scale with Atlassian Data Center? So we launched roughly 4 years ago the first version of Data Center to provide your organizations with high availability, increased performance, and since that time, we also added several other products to the Data Center family. We also increased the deployment options by providing support for AWS and Azure. And most recently, we also delivered 2 of the most highly voted requests from customers looking to manage their products at scale, which are project archiving. Exclusively for Jira Data Center, and with project archiving, your teams can remove the clutter of old issues and projects from Jira without actually losing the data. So by removing projects and their associated issues from the Jira index, you can increase the performance of Jira up to 25%. And the beauty is it's still accessible. You can actually still find the data. And I know especially in finance, you need this for auditory reasons. The second highly voted feature is read-only mode for Confluence Data Center. With read-only mode, your users will always have access to the content, even when your teams are upgrading your environments or perform an administrative task on your servers. There are a couple of other data center-only features. I mentioned already project archiving, read-only mode, but there's also smart mirroring for Bitbucket, high availability, SAML, and there are more coming actually. So stay tuned, there are more functionalities coming on that one, especially also for cloud. Atlassian Marketplace are critical to our customers, and the average data center customer has around 10 unique applications. That's the average. I actually saw instances with 40 add-ons and even more. So up until now, we relied on the marketplace vendors to ensure their server apps will work actually on data center. So we changed that. Last month, we introduced data center approved apps. And with this new program, Atlassian works with the vendors to perform an architectural review and a performance assessment to ensure consistent stability and performance of our customers' data center environments. Many of the most popular apps are already available and data center approved. And of course, you also see EasyBI, who's also here. As you can see, we are maintaining a strong investment in our server and data center products line to make sure that all of you are successful with our products. However, I'd like to take a few minutes and really discuss the future. So regardless of where your company is on the journey to adopt cloud technologies, there is a universal fact. All of our business will rely on the cloud more in the future than today. Fact. It's just a question how to get there. The simple fact is that the speed, the quality, the innovation, and all especially the financial savings that cloud technologies unlock make increased adoption inevitable. So let's give you a little bit of a cloud update. Atlassian wants to make it easier for you to adopt our cloud products at a time and pace that works for you. We realize that many of you in the audience have long-term investments in server, in data center. There are compliance questions, there are security questions. All those are still unanswered for you. Still, you need to look into that. So moving to the cloud is a journey that will happen in multiple stages. It might take in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 8 years. Many of those journeys will actually happen in multiple stages and resulting in a hybrid. Maybe you're going to use server and cloud products which coexists. You realize some of your data is actually very fine to have to sit in the cloud. And I see customers doing that already, making that decision. Yes, that can move to the cloud. When we look at the usage of our own products we're using at Atlassian, we use all of our products, of course, server, cloud, and data center, and to support a variety of different business needs. We remain committed to our 3 deployment methods: server, data center, and cloud. We live, as Atlassians, in a hybrid world ourselves. Some of the tools we use internally are hosted in-house, and while some others are in the cloud. Really just recently, we moved 2 of our largest deployments of Confluence and Jira Data Center to the cloud. And I tell you, that move wasn't easy. No. The whole process began with the need to move the data between our server and cloud products. Customizations, export and API limitations, all provided major hurdles to migration. We experienced it ourselves. So we want to make it easier for you to adopt our cloud at a time and pace that works for you. We built a set of custom export utilities that manage the extraction, refactoring, and uploading of data from our server products to our cloud products. So having tested the migration utilization utilities ourselves, we plan to offer them to our customers later this year, along with all new Migration Hub to serve as a one-stop cloud migration shop when you're ready to start the journey. When we talk about cloud, our focus is on scale, on privacy, and on security. That's what you told us. That's what we're going to focus on. However, we had a 2,000 user limit on our cloud products so far. That made it actually unrealistic for our large customers to move to the cloud. Well, we had to look at ourselves. Atlassian is now roughly 2,500 employees strong, so we couldn't actually move to the cloud ourselves. So we needed more support. We needed to support more users, and so we did it. Last month, we announced that we blew past that limit, and we now support early access to 5,000 users in Jira and Confluence Cloud. 5,000 users is just the beginning. Our goal is to ensure that everyone in this audience can use our cloud products to support every user in your business. We're constantly looking into optimizing performance. And one way is to have regional data centers for quicker data access. Makes sense. So when we introduced our cloud products, we already had our US data centers. To serve our European customers, we added one in Ireland last year. In the coming weeks, we are introducing one in Sydney. And next year, we will add data centers in Frankfurt and in Singapore, further improving response times for our European and Asian customers. This brings us one step closer for offering data locality for our customers in each region. Hold on. Oops. Yes, in each region. That is really also relying on you. I have a lot of German customers. And the German customers, over the last 2 years, kept bothering me. We're not going on the cloud, it's US. We're not going on the cloud, it's in the US. We're not going on the cloud in the US. We're not going on the cloud in Ireland. No, we're not. We want only our data in Germany. And because the German customers bothered us that much, we said, all right, we're going to do it. So I want to highlight, don't wait for Atlassian to come to South Africa and put a data center in here. Let us know that you want a data center in South Africa, that you need cloud products, you need a Azure or AWS data center here in the region in order to allow you to have your data in your country. It is down to you, really, to make that requests. I just can't highlight that enough. So I just highlight, raise your interest. Of course, there's another element, I mentioned it earlier, you are really looking when you're looking into the cloud, especially, of course, in FinServ. We know that certifications are a strong endorsement of industry benchmarks that will allow many or some of you in this audience to sleep at night. And we've successfully achieved 3 different ISO certifications. For Jira and Confluence and SOC 2 Type 2 for Jira, Confluence, and Bitbucket. And over the next year, we will expand certifications to the rest of our products. So again, we can make it easy for you to adopt all our cloud products at enterprise scale. ISO indicates our investment in privacy and security. SOC 2 indicates investment in security and reliability of our platform. So we know security is important for all our customers, especially when it comes to the cloud. And this is why we also launched Atlassian Access. Atlassian Access allows you to configure enhanced security policies like single sign-on via SAML, two-factor authentication, and password policies across your entire organization. You can have a single command center to manage users and control access across all our products. And the best thing about Access is that it has cross-cloud subscription. Our customers love Access and are using it in their organizations to create a safe and secure foundation for all the cloud usage. So that's a little bit about what's going to happen in the cloud. There's something else. Again, be prepared for your arms, not to raise them. I'm not going to do any blame and shame, but I'm curious. Don't raise your hands, that's why I'm not asking, but do it in your head. Who of you experienced a major incident in your organization over the last 12 months? Yeah, all right, okay, I see some giggling, yes, I need to reverse. Yeah, as I said, don't raise your hands, I don't want to shame and blame here. That's fine. Yes, this is part of our day-to-day life, and the most important part is how we deal with those and how we learn from those. Our customers have been telling us for a while how they use Jira to manage incidents. In fact, of course, we use Jira ourselves. I assume we all remember or even still know the following scenario. You get a blue screen of death. And you have to restart your computer. And you hopefully you only lost a few minutes of productivity through that. And you remember how you then started to fix the problem. Restart, hope everything is there. Or you give the laptop to your IT department and say, fix it. As soon as possible, I need to get working again. Yes. Funny-wise, I had that screen this morning. So nowadays, we're all part of the ops team. When an incident occurs, you are somehow involved. You might be the person who raises this. Jira not accessible. Or you're the one who actually needs to deal with it. Someone cannot access the network. So somehow you are going to be involved in that. You might be the one resolving it, or you might be the one who needs to get updates. However, when something goes wrong, it usually looks a little bit like this. Yes, what the heck is going on? I want to update. When is it going to be solved? Not another outage. So, and that's why Atlassian is introducing something to get some structure into the incidents. Jira Ops. Oops. Just a second. Here we go. Not again. Jira Ops is one place you will go to respond, resolve, and learn from every incident. We've built it around the incident process we use internally at Atlassian and everything we learned from our customers. Some of the best technology companies on the planet. The key is we build it as a cloud product so that you can actually count on it even when your system is down. And Jira Ops organizes it into a standard workflow. Your unit of work, the incident, is tracked by Jira from alerting through to post-mortem. and a follow-up. All the tools you use to manage incidents are easily linked and accessible in a central place. All the relevant information about your incident is contained within a familiar interface. Everything is where you expect it until you don't have nothing to relearn. So during an incident, a messenger application like Slack, yeah, you used to be hipshot and that was dry, never mind, can be very effective to get people quickly together. But during the response and discussion, important details can get buried in the chat history. Just imagine you joining this incident team in the morning and you have to go through a vast amount of scrolling through messages to find the relevant details. So there are certain events, of course, you want to highlight to people into your team that want to surface for everyone to see. So with Jira Ops, you can use a Slack option, or a Slack action, to push any message from Slack back into the Jira Ops timeline. Let's take a look. And here we go. There's this message within Jira Ops. It makes it part of a permanent record within the incident. And the incident timeline doesn't just include events from Slack. It also includes important events from integrated tools like Status Page and Ops Genie, as well as manual updates directly from Jira. And with the timeline, you can see what time the first alert went out, when customers were impacted, when the fix was deployed, and when the service was restored for customers. And this saves a ton of getting responders up to speed, which ultimately speeds resolution of the issue for your customers. Speaking of customers, you can keep them updated directly from Jira Ops. The integration between Jira Ops and Status Page makes it easy for you to communicate with and be transparent with your customers. In a time of crisis, it's easy for this to be forgotten. And Jira Ops will show you right there how long it's been since you updated the customers. Yep, it's been a while. So let's publish an update. A new message can be updated to customers directly from Jira Ops, and it makes it easy to keep your customers up to date during an incident. Jira Ops is also tightly integrated with Ops Genie and other alerting tools like PagerDuty. So it's important to know who has already been paged, and perhaps who else you might need to notify. From Jira Ops, you can simply click, and you can see who else has been alerted and whether they responded, along with an easy way to alert more people if you need them. Jira Ops will help you respond and resolve incidents faster and build trust with your customers by being transparent throughout the process. But once an incident is over, how do you learn so that you don't repeat the same issue later? How do you identify and fix the root cause? And the key point we keep hearing is that you need to have a solid post-mortem process. You need to review each incident and learn from it. And again, no shame and blame, but think again. Did you redo it the last time? Did you find the root cause? Has it been communicated? This is why we're actually adding post-mortem support for Jira Ops to track, review, and follow up tasks across Confluence and Jira software. This ensures that you are actually complete the important task of continuously improving how you work and nothing get lost. The following might not be that massive news anymore, but Atlassian has acquired Ops Genie, the leader in incident alerting. And since the beginning of this month, Ops Genie has become an official part of the Atlassian product family. And Ops Genie is an incredible product. Combined with Jira Ops, it provides a full incident management solution for you. The early access program is still open, and I encourage you to check out that URL and sign up and see how it can help you faster and more organized to deal with time-sensitive incidents. We also shared our internal handbook, how we run incidents, and which you can find under the same URL. A little anecdote, actually. One of my customers was sitting in the keynote session at the summit when this was announced. And he sent a message to his senior management in the US straight away. Literally, I'm not exaggerating, 30 minutes later, he had a budget and approval for a proof of concept to try out Jira Ops and Ops Genie. And he told me about this literally after the keynote session. I said, wow, that was fast. That never happens at your company. The reason was literally just 2 months before the summit, they had a massive power outage at one on their sites. And he was really honest with you, it was absolutely chaos. The person who actually knew how to shut everything down wasn't there. They didn't have enough people actually on site to shut down the servers. Everything was evacuated. What do you do right now then? And he said, he was really honest again, the actual post-mortem was a shambles. There was a lot of finger pointing at people. Nobody actually knew in which line everything happened. So this was actually spot on. So over the next couple of months, I'm going to work with this customer and see how Jira Ops and Ops Genie is going to support and prevent this of happening again. However, incident management should not be looked at in isolation. It should be part of your DevOps cycle. If you are keen to learn more about incident management, and especially its role within the DevOps lifecycle, and also keen what actually DevOps means, especially the key elements of establishing a successful DevOps culture to mitigate the risk of a wrong DevOps transformation, have a look at our DevOps simulation workshop. I'm actually running one today. I'm running one DevOps workshop tomorrow. Unfortunately, I think they're already fully booked, but check it out. That's something which is bookable. Right. Just again, out of interest, Trello. Who in the audience is using Trello, either in the business or privately? All right, not that, yeah, a few, okay. You might have experienced already maybe one of the challenges. Because if you're running multiple boards in Trello, the challenge is with keeping it up, with all the tasks, activities, due dates, comments, and so on. So earlier this year, we released Trello Home, which gives you a nice overview, basically a news feed of activity that gives you a bird's eye view of all your boards, tasks, and activities. It surfaces the most important information at the top. And really just a quick update, these are some screenshots of ideas we are playing around with the home screen. So every time to log into Trello, you're greeted with a single view that shows you which due dates are coming up next and what actually needs your immediate attention. We are planning to make Home even more useful in surfacing relevant info based on what's important for you. Power-ups are actually the add-ons for Trello. So by now, we relaunched roughly 100 power-ups already. And the number is impressive, but the quality is even more impressive. For example, there are power-ups like Butler and Unity, and they enable you to have some amazing automation. And that will actually show you the depth and flexibility of Trello. If you haven't used Trello yet and played around with Trello, have a try. I know this presentation is not able really to replace the full Atlassian Summit experience. But I hope I was able to give you a little update on what I believe were the most exciting updates from the Summit keynote. There were many more interesting talks, more product-specific announcements, and updates which are all accessible as YouTube videos on the Atlassian Summit website. Check it out. You might sit there and say, hey, I didn't hear about Bamboo. Oh, I didn't hear about, all the other products you might mean. Fisheye Crucible and so on, Crowd. There are updates. I just didn't have time to put it all in here because I probably could have talked for the whole day here. So I'm really looking forward to talking to you this afternoon. I'm going to be available after I'm finished with the DevOps simulation workshop. So I really hope you're going to stick around to have a drink later on this evening. And I'm really looking forward to all your questions and discussions, and especially your input on the different journeys.